Hi guys, welcome back to Man vs Oils. Today we're going to talk to you about essential oils themselves, some of the uses for them, what they actually are, what to look for when using them, and just some of the, the things you should probably know about essential oils. So, do they work? What are essential oils, as I've said, and so on. So let's have a look at what we've got basically. So essential oils are they're called an oil. They're actually not really an oil, but they're called an oil, I think, because of the way they react with water and things like that. They're a concentrated compound that comes from the fruit, the leaves, the roots, the twigs, etc. of plants and fruits from plants, etc. They are not anything that's come from any chemically made compounds or anything like that. They're real essential oils all come from those things, like a plant or a fruit or something like that. For example, lemon essential oil is cold pressed from the rind of lemons. About 50 lemons go into one 15ml bottle. Lavender, for example, is steam distilled from the lavender flowers, the real purpley type colour, purple cover on that, obviously, purple label. So they're used in quite a number of ways. I think to start with though, the thing to look for if you're going to use essential oils is make sure that it says on the bottle, this will say somewhere in the bottle, and I should have looked for this before I started, but it will say 100% pure therapeutic grade essential oil. Therapeutic grade, I hazard a guess, and I have read in a number of places that that's just something the manufacturing companies put on there to make it sound more good or better, but you need to make sure they're 100% pure essential oils. You will get essential oils in the $2 shops. For example, rose oil in both Young Living, which I use, and doTERRA, and some of the other brands will cost you about $300 for a bottle. That's because there's something like 16,000 rose petals or 1 million rose petals or something like that goes into making one bottle of rose oil. Obviously that makes it quite expensive. If you can buy rose oil from a $2 shop, I guarantee you it's not for $2. I can guarantee it's not rose oil. There'll be synthetic compounds in them. There'll be chemicals in them effectively. So it just means you're not getting the right thing. So make sure it says 100% oil. And I suppose that's where some of the cost from them comes. A bottle of lemon essential oil is about 23 Australian dollars. That just means that, that's because there's been 50 lemons into this bottle. There's been the distilling process, etc. Whereas if they're cutting them back with chemicals and the like, that just means that they're not real, and obviously they're a lot cheaper. But if you're going to start putting them on your skin and things like that, obviously you don't want chemicals on there. That's part of the belief and reason behind essential oils, is that you're using natural compounds and substances on your skin, in the diffusers, etc. what you're using for. So just be aware of that. Make sure that you are using them. If you go to a lot of the where you buy your soaps and things like that, they will have what they call fragrance oils. They have like a lavender fragrance oil, for example, probably costs you about $5 or $10 a bottle. It has some lavender essential oil on it, but again, it's cut down with some aroma enhancers or some chemicals that just make it last longer. And to be honest, if you're going to use that in a diffuser, maybe it's all you need, being aware that you are putting chemicals into your environment. But as I keep saying, make sure they're 100% essential oils. That is why they're a little bit more expensive, but it's also making worthwhile if you're going to use them in the manner that a lot of people talk about using them, which is on your skin, etc. There's a number of different types. I've tried to get one of each one here. We have lemon, which is a citrus oil. I like citrus oils. They actually smell quite good, and they actually smell pretty much like the fruit that they've come from. So lemon, orange, bergamot, those sort of ones, they all smell pretty much like that. You've got your lavenders and the like, more florally ones. Obviously, being a Man vs Oil site, we try and stay away from the florally ones, because if it's florally, it's not manly. That's the way I categorize them. If they're not florally, they're manly. Very unscientific. Probably can't prove it, but that's how it works. Lavender and those sort of oils are very good for resting, though, very good at calming. We have cedarwood, sandalwood, Northern Lights black spruce, which is my absolute favourite. If you're a man watching this and you don't have that one, get it, it's amazing. They're what we call grounding oils. quite often something that's root based or come from trees, etc. They call grounding oils. Grounding oils and citrus oils go very well together. If you're looking for something to add together, they're very good. We've got some other, what we probably call warmer oils, which is, this one's wintergreen. If you get your hands on wintergreen and have a smell of it, you'll notice it smells just like, in Australia we call it Denka rub or deep heat. You know, the sports liniments that you put on your body. I use this with peppermint on my ankles. Works very well. And then lemongrass is an interesting one as well. Lemongrass, clove, cinnamon, all considered hot oils. So be very careful if you're using hot oils. They call them hot oils because they can cause a burning sensation on the skin. So again, be aware of that. If I'm being honest, all oils should be considered hot oils. You should check all of them first before you just drop them on your skin or sniff them through an infuser, or even if you smell them directly. I have a bad habit, and I've done it in this video. Every oil I picked up, I smell them straight away. You probably should be careful with that as well, because if you've got sensitivity within your nostrils, if you have sensitivity within your airways, be careful with that as well. So how do we use them? Number of ways you can use them. You can use it in a diffuser. We've got the diffuser here. Hopefully you can see that on a video. If you're using a diffuser, all you need to do, little trick my wife taught me the other day, by the way, if you've got a diffuser with a little lid on it like that, turn it upside down, put your finger under it. That's what actually, pour the water in there, and that gives you the right amount for the water. I put the water in there already. I'll put some drops of lemon and some drops of Northern Lights Black Spruce in there, if it ever comes out. I've got 5 drops of each. You can't see it in the video, obviously, but they do form a little oil slick, for want of a better term, on top of the water. They do not mix with water, obviously, which is probably why they put oils. I put that back, the lid back on, if it will go on. I put the cover back on. I turn it on there, and for some reason that's not turning on. Have I plugged that in? I have plugged that in, and now it's turning on, and there is a small mist coming out the top. I hope you can set up on the light so you can see that. What that mist is doing, this is actually dispersing particles of the oil and water that's very diluted, only 5 drops to all that water. I've got lemon and Northern Lights Black Spruce in there. That's a great aroma. People ask me all the time how you choose your aromas. Just smell the oils and put 2 and 2 together. As I say, grounding and citrus is very good. Peppermint and spearmint and those sort of ones, and citrus are also very good. The florally ones work well with pretty much anything, or you can cut down your florally ones with some more manly wood ones like that. For example, lavender and cedarwood, we actually have a blend of that which we use before we travel and things. It's quite calming. It's quite good, that one as well. So you get used to that. The other way you can use it is on the skin. Now, as I said before, be very careful with oils on the skin. They can cause sensitivity, they can burn. For an oil on the skin, I haven't got any carrier oil at all in the house. Actually, we've run out, which is silly because before I did a video. But anyway, effectively with these bottles, you can get these bottles down below on this post. And the lid won't come off. I'm having a great time here today. Effectively, that little thing comes off. I need to get a knife to just edge it off. 5 or 6 drops of each oil, or whichever you want to put in there. Top it up with a carrier oil, and then you can just rub it on onto your points. In acupuncture and things like that, they talk about certain points. On your wrists, behind your ears, on your neck. This one is Panaway Peppermint and Valor. It's quite a strong one. Be very careful. I use this quite a bit on my skin, and I use it on my joints quite a lot. Panaway and peppermint in particular. Wintergreen's another one. Mix it with some coconut oil and rub it into your joints if they're quite stiff and sore. It does provide relief. They don't solve medical issues. So I have sore ankles from years and years of playing sport. That's why I rub it on. It provides relief. It does not cure the issue that I've got in my ankles, which is, we haven't got all day, and I could spend all day telling you about that, but that's one that I use for that. We have here bergamot, lavender and vetiver, which is quite a nice smell actually. The lavender does go well with other things, even though it's florally and non-manly. My wife stuck a nice little sticker on that. I'm not sure where she got them from, but we use that one on our on our ears and behind our ears and on our neck before we need to travel. The lavender and the bergamot and the vetiver are actually very good calming oils, and they sort of give you a calmness to them that we quite like. So they're your blends you can use. You can just drop a couple of oils into a container with some coconut oil. So get your container, drop your coconut oil in it, mix some essential oils in with it, and off you go. There's so many ways you can use it. If you're going to use oils directly on your skin, I use Northern Lights Black Spruce directly on the skin. It's quite nice. It doesn't affect my skin at all. We drop a drop of frankincense on the crown of our son's head at night, and I swear to God it calms him down. I'm not a real advocate of using essential oils on children, and lots of people do, and lots of people say they do. Don't use them on babies. Please don't use them on babies. And with children, be very, very careful. We don't ingest essential oils here. A lot of people do. In the manufacturing websites, they talk about ingesting essential oils. We don't ingest them. I don't think it's proven safe as yet. Friends of ours put it in everything. They put it in recipes. I mean, if I'm being honest, you see all these recipes about putting a drop of basil in your soup and stuff like that. I'm thinking, well, why not just put basil leaves in there? It's very concentrated. Apparently, if you put one drop of basil, I think I read the other day it's 2 pounds of basil leaves for every 15 mil of, that's something like 2.5 kilos. Just put a couple of basil leaves in. If you got that much concentration in there, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me ingesting them. I know a lot of people do. This isn't designed to be an argument over whether you should or shouldn't. And I will write about that in future posts, and we'll see how we go with that. And I guess finally, just some things to be aware of with oils is that they are extremely concentrated, as I said. So obviously, if you want the benefit from them, I write a lot about the research of them. A lot of the strong ones, like lemongrass, for example, is a very good antifungal, antibacterial, antimicrobial, which means it kills germs. There is some scientific proof to that. Scientific proof in essential oils is very limited. A lot of times it's on animals, a lot of times it's done in a petri dish, and more research needs to be done. They've been used for centuries, so there's got to be some truth to them. It's a very big belief system. We use them in a lot of things which I've written about and find them quite useful. But as I say, even for the aroma of them alone. But just be aware that the research is there, but it is very limited. They're very highly concentrated. If you're going to dilute them, do not dilute them in water. They will not dilute in water. You need to use a carrier oil, especially for your hot oils. Sorry guys, they won't make you high. I did read somewhere the other day that if you, and to be honest, I can't even remember, I think it was peppermint and cinnamon or something you put together, it's supposed to make you high. Doesn't work, don't bother. Good insect repellents, citronella, peppermint, lemon, all really work well with insect repellents. We get flies here in summer, I'm assuming most people do. Lemongrass in the diffuser will keep the flies away. They don't last as long as chemical interventions, like the minute you turn, if you spray fly spray around, obviously it keeps them away for a while because there's the chemicals and insecticides in there. Lemongrass doesn't do that. And finally, I'm a very strong believer in this. There is a lot of sites out there that will tell you that essential oils can cure all manner of things. I don't even write the words that they say, and I don't even say the words that they say because I just can't believe that anyone would risk their health based on something that's not documented, not fully researched. I mean, these are great. I use them on my calves if I get cramps. I use them on my feet for joints. We use them as in the diffuser. We use them when they travel. I travelled overseas recently and we had a jet lag, cedarwood and lavender. I tell you what, I suffer from jet lag and I swear to God, it actually helped with my jet lag. So there are some very good uses for it. If you've got a medical condition, especially something that's life-threatening, please go to a doctor. Do not think a couple of drops of essential oil are going to solve some of your medical problems. People will swear by it. You'll find just as many posts on the internet of people saying, yep, I had this and essential oil saved it. I don't know, I wouldn't be willing to put my health in something that strong, but you know, each to their own. So I'm certainly not sitting here looking down on those people. I'd just be very, 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 very careful. There are some risks around pregnancy and the like as well. If you're pregnant, all those sort of things, just keep that in mind. Okay, I think that's about it for this one. As I say, just wanted to talk about essential oils, what they are, do they work. Keep an eye on my posts. Obviously, all the posts that I write on my site are about oils, what they work for, what they don't work for, and if anyone can find one that keeps snails away, I'm all ears, because everything I tried didn't work. And yeah, and as usual, please subscribe to my channel below, click like on here, get lots of likes up so that you can see lots of my videos. If you subscribe, you'll see all the videos that are filtering out. Have a look at my site, like me on Facebook, all that stuff, and I will speak to you soon. All this smoke's in front of me now. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks guys, bye.